1. Arrival. Dear Journal, I've arrived at Harmony Ridge, though I find the name ironic now. The colony was once a beacon of success, known for its agricultural output and trade. That's why the Empire is concerned. It's well established, crucial to the Rim's supply chain, but addiction is tearing it apart from within. I've seen epidemics before, but nothing like this. Yayo, the cheap stimulant, has taken hold of nearly everyone here. They're addicted, lost in a haze of reckless energy and desperation. The council requested assistance, and I, a physician from the Empire's glittering cities, have been sent. They believe a man like me, with access to advanced medicine and technology, can fix this. But stepping off the shuttle today, I was met with sunken eyes and skeletal frames. The colony's inhabitants barely looked human anymore. I expected hardship, but not this level of decay. This is worse than the reports. Day 3. Assessing the damage. Dear Journal, the addiction is widespread, more than I imagined. Over 60% of the population is hooked on Yayo. It's everywhere, smuggled in by traders, produced in secret labs. The local authorities are useless. Half of them are addicts themselves, strung out, too weak to enforce anything. The other half are either corrupt or overwhelmed. It's not just the physical symptoms, the rapid weight loss, the gaunt features, the constant shaking, but the mental decay. Many are paranoid, aggressive, incapable of rational thought. The effects of long-term use are horrifying: organ failure, mental collapse, hallucinations, and the breakdown of social order. I visited the clinic today, such as it is, barely functional. The colony has long since run out of proper supplies, and their doctors, I don't even think I can call them that anymore. They've lost control, treating addicts with what little they have, outdated medicine, homemade concoctions. It's like trying to stop a flood with your hands. The Empire has sent me with a shipment of Lucy serum and neurotox, the only known treatments for advanced addiction cases, but I fear it won't be enough. Day 7. First deaths. Dear Journal, we lost 2 patients today. They were young, barely out of adolescence, but they'd been using Yayo for years. Their organs simply gave out, their hearts unable to withstand the strain. I did everything I could, but once the heart fails, there's no bringing them back. The hardest part is telling the families. One of the mothers begged me to save her daughter, screaming at me, clutching my arm like I had some miracle in my pocket that I wasn't using. I didn't. She was too far gone. I could only apologize and move on to the next case. I've started administering Lucy serum to the worst cases. It works, but only for a time. The problem is, it's addictive too. These people are trading one dependence for another, and once I run out of the serum, withdrawal from it will be just as deadly. I'm trying to wean them off slowly, but the demand is already overwhelming. I spoke with the council today. They want me to fix this, but they don't understand. I can treat symptoms, I can detoxify their bodies, but without addressing the root causes, it will never end. The colony's social fabric is torn apart. No one trusts anyone, and dealers operate with impunity. The council itself is riddled with corruption. They refuse to see the truth, that this isn't just a medical crisis, it's a societal collapse. Day 14. Resistance. Dear Journal, some of the colonists are resisting treatment. It's not just fear of withdrawal, they're clinging to Yayo because it's the only thing that gives them a semblance of control, a brief escape from the misery of their lives. Without it, they feel nothing but despair. I encountered one of these resistors today. His name was Jarek, a farmer turned dealer, and he was popular among the addicts. He refused my treatment, spat at me, called me an imperial dog. He said the Yayo gave him purpose, that it let him work longer, think faster, be more than what this colony had made him. In his mind, I wasn't here to help. I was here to take away the only thing keeping him alive. He's not alone. There's a growing faction of users who've banded together, sharing stashes, hiding from authorities. They're afraid of detox, afraid of the pain, and honestly, I don't blame them. Withdrawal is brutal, violent convulsions, vomiting, hallucinations, heart palpitations. For some, it's worse than death. But if they don't stop, their bodies will fail one way or another. It's a race now, to see which will kill them first, the drug or the cure. Day 20. Corruption. Dear Journal, I've uncovered something darker today. The council is complicit. One of the guards, Thomas, came to me, half drunk, desperate to confess. He said some of the council members are not just failing to stop the drug trade, they're encouraging it. They're taking bribes from the dealers, ensuring that Yayo flows freely into the colony. I shouldn't be surprised. There's money in addiction, and those in power here have grown fat off the suffering of their people. But to know it so plainly, it's infuriating. They asked for the Empire's help while lining their pockets with blood money. I don't know who to trust anymore. I thought I could rely on the local authorities to help distribute medicine and enforce curfews, but now I wonder if they're in on it too. I've started locking my supplies in a secure vault. I can't risk them being stolen. Thomas said something else that chilled me. He told me that the addicts I'm treating, the council doesn't want them to recover. Not really. They want them manageable, dependent, but alive enough to work. It's all about maintaining control. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm not just treating the symptoms of a dying colony, but helping to keep it alive just long enough for those in power to wring every last drop from it. Day 23. The breaking point. Dear Journal, the unrest is spreading. Today, a riot broke out near the clinic. A group of addicts stormed the medical storehouse, demanding more Lucy serum. I tried to calm them, explain that we're running low and that rationing is necessary, but they wouldn't listen. They were desperate, eyes wild, voices slurred. When I refused, one of them lunged at me with a knife. I barely got away. The guards stepped in, but it was chaos, fists, blood, and panic everywhere. Some of the rioters were shot. I treated the wounded as best I could, but it's all becoming too much. The colony is teetering on the edge of collapse. Lucy serum supplies are almost gone, and without it, I fear what will happen. Withdrawal is already killing people. This morning, I found 2 bodies in the alleyway behind the clinic, their faces twisted in agony. The flesh-eater wasn't responsible for these deaths. Yayo was. And now I'm trapped. The council is hiding, pretending everything is still under control. They've ordered the guards to shoot looters on sight, but that won't solve the problem. It's like putting a bandage on a bullet wound. The people here need real leadership, not more guns. Day 30. Escape. Dear Journal, I've come to the bitter conclusion that I can't save this colony. The addiction is too deep, the corruption too widespread. I've treated those I could, but it's not enough. The rot is inside the very heart of Harmony Ridge. This morning, I received a message from the Empire. They're pulling me out. Apparently, my reports have reached the Senate, and they've deemed this colony a lost cause. A containment team will be sent in, not to treat the addicts, but to prevent the spread of the epidemic. That's a polite way of saying they'll quarantine the colony, likely burn it to the ground if necessary. I don't know how to feel about it. On one hand, it's a relief. I've done everything I can, and I'm exhausted, physically and emotionally. But on the other hand, these people, the ones still clinging to life, they're going to be abandoned. left to rot in their own filth and misery. I packed my things today, what little I have left. My shuttle leaves tomorrow at dawn. I'm getting out before the containment teams arrive. I've seen enough suffering to last me a lifetime.